Hello everybody, we're starting a minute early here on Malts and Meeples. I am Petter, and today we are playing this game, The Count of Nine Estates, a button shy game, so that means we have a total of, 18 cards for the whole game. Let's get down to the table and check this game out. Over here, we have our buildings. These are going to be some of our bigger point getting buildings. We have peasant, clergy, and nobility level buildings. We need to build them in this order. There's an interesting twist to how that works that we'll get to in a moment. We also have this stack of cards here. These cards we can use for resources and to build stuff. So for example, we'll have 3 cards out here. Right now I'm looking, I need 2, I think I had them in the wrong order last time. I need a blacksmith and a market and a shipwright, or a blacksmith and a quarry. Nothing in there. Well, you have a blacksmith coming up there, but for a blacksmith I need the silver resource and a black resource. I don't have any of those right now. I can, however, use the black resource here and this resource to build myself a sawmill. Then that shifts down. Alright, I got what I need for the blacksmith, so we're going to build the blacksmith. Could build either of them. Ooh, hold on. Before I do that, because I have 2 blacksmiths here, the other thing I need is a quarry. Don't know what the quarry has. I actually want to build this blacksmith instead. So we have a church and a mill on the back side of here. We have an armory that we can build. And we have a resource here that we can use to help build as well if we want, but none of those are that great. Let's build out this blacksmith, or this armory, just using this. So these symbols are basically our resources. Here we go, we got a quarry. So I can build that out as well. And now, looking over here, I can build the city walls. The city walls do give me a resource. Normally you can only spend a resource once. However, we've been using this worker here over and over and over again. But we do now lose all of these. We can't build these anymore. So from the column it's in and the row it's in. So now we're looking up next level. We have a school and a stonemason we need, or 2 churches. Let's see, we do have the right resource and a worker to build our school. So now we just need a stonemason, which, not one of those. We have a stonemason here, we have a quarry, and a worker. We can get our stonemason built. However, we have to remember, we don't have this symbol anymore. So, we have a school, check, and a stonemason, check. So now we just need to use a worker to get our monument built. This is going real well, by the way. So we lose these 2. And I did mix stuff up. So the clergy and nobility. That means we're down to that. We can stop at any point in time. We would have had this flipped out. We need an armory. Check. A goldsmith. No check. Oh, we do have this, so we can use the monument and our worker. Remember, we don't tap the workers to get the goldsmith in there, and then we have a stonemason. So we need 2 workers. This is, I feel like I'm doing something wrong here, because now everything's been built there, which means we can stop here and score. So 1 point for each structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so 7. And if you have multiple of a structure, which we don't, we could go even higher. So we have 8 points there, plus then 11, so 19, and 3, 22. Subtract 2 points for each round played in the area, including incomplete rounds. So we had 18. So that means that we just hit 4 points? No, we didn't play out a final round. We could have had one more round. So 8, 16, and I said 22, so 6 points or something like that there. Then it gives us directions here. After the first era, record your points. All right. We didn't double up on anything, did we? No, we did not. So then, what do we do? After the end of the first era, we record our score, move any built estates to the side of your build area, resetting them to show their resources as available to use once in the second era. So we have our 2 resources there. I guess once in the second area, we could always use that one over and over again. Begin the second era starting at step 2 of setup. So we grab all of these back. We rotate a whole stack, I believe. We'll rotate half of it, mix them together. So now I have all of these. I'm going to be getting these points again, but I'm going to be looking to build potentially differently here. So let's do query. Then, fortunately, don't have a worker there, so we're running into more troubles this time. We'll slide this down. This would get flipped to this side because we couldn't build it. Okay, now we have that there. We need either, not money, we could do money and a worker to get a goldsmith out. And then we have that and a worker to get a school out, I guess, or an inn. The inn gives me a worker every time. We could also just build another quarry. So let's do that. Then, I mean, obviously we want to get that market out if we can. However, we don't have anything that produces what we need there. Let's get another goldsmith out. So then we could do a blacksmith, a farm. Oh, I do think we're potentially supposed to be sliding every time. And then finally we could finish off with... Don't have what we need for a market, unfortunately. Oh, we do. We can use that and put a market into play. So I feel like I'm missing something with the scoring here. 1 point for each structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Score 1 point for each duplicate structure. For example, score 2 additional points if you build 3 of a particular structure. So would this actually be one? I mean, score the points shown on the shields of any structures and estates. They score only in the era they were built. Subtract 2 points for each round played in the era. I'm confused off of that. Because why wouldn't you want to... It also doesn't tell you to count the rounds. When the deck runs out of cards, reset any tilted structures. Oh, that's just end of the round. End of the era. We could have gone further with the era. Okay, that makes more sense. So we had, I mean, I would think it was basically the same. 8, 12, 22 minus 2. Assuming I did that right. And then here we have another 8 minus 2 for 6. So 26. The king is overthrown. I guess if I did that right, which is always slightly worrisome when it goes too well. That we can only use each resource once. I want to double check something with the resources here. I'm going to reset. Wow, that's completely the wrong order. And try again, because I wonder if I did something wrong with building. Okay. Must pay the building cost. If the top card of the discard pile, a built structure or a building estate was used to provide the resource, shift it slightly. If one of the other active cards was used, flip it over and place it on the discard. Okay, so you can't use... Yeah, I definitely did that wrong. Let's do this again. So we have our worker and this. Now, this requires a quarry and a worker. Don't have a quarry yet. This requires these 2 resources don't have that yet. So this is going to flip this way, and that's going to move on down. I don't have any workers, of course, and everything requires workers. So we flip, move on down. My goodness. Now we're just running into terrible luck with no workers. So flip, move on down. Okay, we have a worker here, and workers don't require tapping. But then I would have to use a resource, matching up a resource here for something which I don't have. Because those, I can't use this to build this. That was what I was doing wrong before. So if I flip that one over, slide it down, how do I have nothing that matches up? Got all the workers. Oh, should have been checking on the back here. Don't think it. I'm going to reset because I do think I was failing to look at the cards in the discard for potential building opportunities. Let's do the rotate half. So this moves down. I look here, can't get either of them. So let's look here. If you do not build anything, either by choice or because you don't have the resources, flip the center active card over to the side with rounded corners and place it in the discard. So like so. Alright. So looking over here, don't have the resources we want there. Can't use that. I mean, I need a school to do the shipwright in the first place. I don't have anything I can build over here, so I guess that flips. Okay, we do have gold here. Ooh, I could build either the tavern or the goldsmith. Neither of those help here too much. But let's build the goldsmith. Remember, I can use the worker. Fortunately, it's not going to help me, so we flip that. And now I have a worker, okay, and a wheat. Fortunately, that can't get me the market. So this is going poorly. I want to stop there, actually. So then this rotates, and we shuffle all of these together. So that's one round of this era. So now I look here, nothing I like. Flip that over. I mean, nothing I can do unless you have a worker, which is real annoying. So let's flip that. A worker. We got a worker here. And wheat. Or that. Doesn't help me at all. Demolition team, quarry. No, we don't have a quarry. Armory. So we have a worker, but we need a blacksmith. My goodness. Another armory. We have a quarry. We have a blacksmith, but we don't have what we need here. Okay. Flip that. I'm getting the annoyance of this. So now I can turn this, and I have a worker to build a church. Church doesn't help me here. And I can't use that resource again. So then we'll pick it up, round 3. And we turn it. So nothing we can build there because we need a worker. Of course, that worker's on the wrong side, as is this one. This one's already flipped to the other side. So that just slides on down. This one's not. But I guess we're flipping it. Oh, of course. Everything requires a worker, and I don't have any workers whatsoever. Nor does this one have any resources. Let's just pick up and shuffle 6. So shuffle number 3. So this is round 4. Slide that down. Nothing. Okay, at least we have a worker now. Now we have 2 workers. But I can use a worker to get... No, I can't do that. To get nothing. Farm or stonemason. Farm and stonemason, we can get the mill. But I can't get that because I need another wheat. So I need 2 workers for that. Now I have 1 worker. I think I'm stuck basically here. That was horrible. So technically I would have 2 points and I'd be at -8. Then though the deck resets. Rotate about half of them. Shuffle it up. So I'm at -6. And I'm off to a flying start. At least that has a symbol. Of course, I don't get a worker. Still, absolutely no workers. Better give me a worker. Okay, I can build a church now. That's something. And this flips and goes there because I use it as a resource. Double worker, anything with double worker? No. I need to get some of these with resources on them. I'm going to shuffle up right here. I'm going to be a bit more aggressive with my shuffling this time through. So I'm at -1 point, but as I place this out, get nothing. That flips, and sawmill. That one's already flipped. So that one flips. Give me a worker. Of course, no workers. Worker. We got a worker. Worker in a quarry. Nope. So I can't do anything because that's such a dead card for me. Guess we flip that. Man, you need a quarry, basically, once you start flipping. Now we have a worker. We have this resource, so we can get a tavern. This flips down here, and I can shuffle up. So 2 rounds. So we're at -2. So we have worker, farm. Those just slide on down. We have 2 workers. Discard to place a built structure into the discard. I mean, I guess we're gonna clear that out of there anyways. Money. Nothing for money there. That doesn't help me because I need to use it on that card itself. Ouch. At least we have a worker now. So we always have a worker, which is key, because then I can spend to get a farm, which does flip that one down there. Do I have a blacksmith? Nope. I do have more grain, so I have a farm now, but I don't have a stonemason. So I'm going to pick this up, go again. So that time, I mean, demolition team. Not sure that does me much good. No symbol, of course. Still no symbol. I think I went a bit too hard on flipping stuff. Everything is flipped right now. So that's 4. I feel like I'm understanding it better now, but doesn't necessarily make it enjoyable. So we got blacksmith now. Cool. Nope, he can't use his own resource on himself, I don't believe. That maybe that's something I just need to double check here. To build a structure or estate, you must pay its cost with resources from unused structures and estates that you've built. The topmost resources on the active cards Oh, yeah, I think I messed that up. I think I probably would have been able to pay for resources with the card itself. So let's 4th time's the charm. But that's one of the things about, I will say, button shy games. The rules are small, which means that there's no room for images for clarity. So for example now, I could build this school because I used that resource. This still slides down, that one goes down there. Now I just have a whole bunch of build, which doesn't do me any good. So I would flip this one over, and I'm looking for a useful resource. I have a worker still. I can get the sawmill out, that's good. Sawmill doesn't help too much there. But then it still slides, is the big thing. And the quarry, that one flips because I use it as a resource. If it's in this middle spot, and then gold can be used as a wild. Good to know. I'm going back and forth on it, so we're going to try one last time to shuffle up here. I may have to find a video. I tried playing this, and I did play this before the stream too, so it was like not completely going in blind, but like I said, it's it's the so small. So I don't know that this first time I really would be able to build. May build one of the active cards. I don't know. I mean, it definitely reads like you can build it. So I would take that one, put it in play there. This would slide down. Now, I could decide to build, for example, this armory. So I'm going to do that. This one slides down on top there. That moves down. Okay, I don't have any workers available to me, so I can't build anything, which means that one flips. And then we're looking here, and I would say, okay, I want to use these to build a quarry and a blacksmith. I can build the city walls next time, so that shifts down. I use this to build the city walls. So we have city walls into play. That's a worker for me. That's nice. Then that wipes out here and here, which means now I'm down to need 2 churches, church, goldsmith, stonemason to build there. So I'm looking here. I have this gold. You can get the goldsmith out because I use this worker. Then I end this age, which means I shuffle up and rotate, or end this round, not age. And that comes back. So now I'm looking at this going, okay, I don't have a church. Correct. I have a goldsmith, but I don't have a stonemason, so I need to find a stonemason. And some of these may have stuff on the opposite side that I want to look at. These do not. I could use my worker right now, or I could flip it. I'm going to flip this one. Slide that down. Okay, we have a church here. We have this and that. So that one flips into there because we used it for a resource. We have a church. That one moves down there. And now I need to find a stonemason if I can. There's a stonemason on the back there. And that's it. So I would stop right now because I know I can't get that stonemason. I'll slide these over slightly. So I count up my points. Remember, I did 2 rounds here. So I'm losing 4, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points there, plus an additional 3 for 8. I lose 4 points. This goes away, and we reset the deck. According to this, yep, square corners back up. So now, like, I know there's a stonemason in there. I either need to get to 2 churches or stonemason and some other stuff. So, and then we rotate half of it. Should have done that before I shuffled so much. We start there. So you can see how there can be some struggle learning these games. I need that goldsmith. I could build the school. The school doesn't help me too much. That has a church on the back side of that golds. Let's flip this one. So we gain that. We have a worker. This symbol. We could build a quarry. Can't build the tavern. Now we want to flip that one. So let's build the quarry. Everything slides down by 1. And then I want to use this resource to build something, which means I have to use this worker and this resource to build myself a tavern. That flips in there. Stonemason. Apparently, I think we're going for this one. It's more points, but it may be harder to get to because I still need the goldsmith. Ooh, I don't know that I can anymore. I think I need to find 2 churches. Did I lock myself out of 2 churches? I'm not sure. Blacksmith and mill on the opposite side of that. I could build a school. That's not super useful. Stonemason, I guess. Spend the worker from the tavern to build the stonemason. Demolition team. Okay. So we need a goldsmith, church, and stonemason. We have a stonemason. We have a goldsmith down here. Hold on. We would have built this one instead. Because then this one would have flipped. We have the goldsmith up. We use the walls to build the goldsmith and the goldsmith's own thing. These slide down. I need to get a church out there. I do have this symbol twice, but what I don't have is I don't have a worker. So that's rough for me. So that flips. Now I need to flip this back, which I don't know that I can do. So I have to look. Okay, we got another church here. I need to flip this one. If I need to flip that one, I need to use it for a resource. But I don't like it for a resource right now. So we flip that, move it down there, and I can't use it. So we're going round 2 here. Start with our school and market. These guys reset, by the way. Anything for that. So we flip that. Stonemason, demolition team. Shipwright. Blacksmith doesn't do me any good. It's already flipped, so we send that down there. Now here we have a church and a mill on the opposite side. I want to flip that, so I guess I move this. No, I guess I build that stonemason using that worker to flip it. And there we go. Now we're going 3. We rotate. So we have a farm and a quarry. Don't really need another quarry. Don't have the grain to get a farm. Don't have the resource to get a school. So we're just going to move on down. We got our church. We'll spend that and this worker to get a church. So now I need to get double workers back to gain that. And that flips, by the way. So 1 worker. Okay, and then the tavern has another. So we can grab the monastery, which means those 2 go away. And then this one requires an armory, goldsmith. We do have an armory upright, but we don't have a blacksmith, which means we have to get that blacksmith into play. So we shuffle everything up here, turn it, slide down. Okay, we can get the blacksmith into play using this. That comes out. We can get the armory into play using that. And then we use the tavern and this because workers don't tap, I don't believe. Well, we'll say that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not counting that one. Or not counting, yeah, that one. Plus another 10, 18 minus, I think, 10. So 8 plus 6 is 14, something like that. If I did that correctly. And I am still slightly less than convinced I did everything correctly there. Let's pop back up and talk about the game, because obviously we've played it a number of times now, or attempted to, and talk about my thoughts on this. First off, this needs to be twice as big as it is. Or second one. You have room for it. I understand you're trying to make it cheap. But with 9 cards on both sides of this, so 9 cards plus the rules, then you could do 9 cards plus examples over here, and it would make way more sense. It just, the rules, you had to spend a lot of time reading them, and they just were not that great. That said, the game itself is fine. I'm not going to call it amazing, but I'm also not going to call it bad. I think there are good elements to this game, but mainly it feels more like, I don't know, it's not, I'm trying to put this in the right way. It is well designed, but it's not super fun. I see how it works and the thought process behind it, and all of that makes really good sense to me. But when it comes down to it, I was sitting there, obviously some of my frustration, I do want to play it some more, comes from the rules and from the lack of examples because the rules are so short. That said, I'm not sure that I'd ever love it. I think there's ways that if everything came out perfectly, you could do real well. But overall, fine, but not a wallet game I'm probably, or button shy game that I'm probably going to be playing a ton of in the future, or potentially even holding on to. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Do you enjoy the Count of the Nine Estates? Let me know that down in the comment section below, and thank you everybody for watching and checking out this video. Obviously we have other videos with button shy games. Our nice little stack that we've done thus far that you can check out as well. And we still have more weeks of this. We have 5 more weeks of button shy games to come. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a thumbs up. Check out the other videos on the channel. We go live every Monday around 8:30ish, in that range. Then Wednesdays 9 p.m. Central for this button shy stuff. Mondays tends to be more other solo games. I do want to get back to solo campaign games. And finally, on Fridays at 9 p.m. Central, we stream Baldur's Gate 3. And if you enjoy this content, want to check out the other content that I put out, you can check out nerdologist.com. The link for that should be down in the description below, as well as then the 10-Minute Marvel podcast, weekly podcast that I do talking about news, rumors, stuff like that. And you can search for 10-Minute Marvel here on YouTube or wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.